Sack Life, beat depression, it's day 693, and we're back in the place to be with another somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here now. Anyone who's tuning in later, appreciate you guys and girls out there. As you know, it's a martial arts for mental health show, and we like to focus in on those mental health tools first, because without mental health, nothing else matters. So the first one we want to tap into is that powerful tool of gratitude. The more we use it, the easier it becomes to use, and the easier it is to find those silver linings in life and the things to be grateful for. So today I want to shout out gratitude to Strange Weather, to YandI, to ECHT, and to the awesome individuals hosting another Same. It's been a very long time since I've been to the Same party. If you don't know what it is, check it out. I'll throw up an ad on there. It's a place where so many people have come together in such a warm, loving environment, just to share entertainment and to share the things that they're passionate about, to pursue their passions, put them out there on display. And it really gave me a sense of community and connection before I even started Sack Life. So I was going through a dark time, and those guys were there for me. And that just goes to show you the power of social support. And so I want to shout out gratitude for that social support system that I had found earlier, even pre-Sack Life days. Going out to all those guys. I'm super pumped for them to be back. I'll be heading out there tonight, bring you guys along for an adventure. And that's my piece of gratitude today. Also, gratitude going out to the social support system that we're creating together in this positive, upbuilding fight forwards against those things that we may be struggling with. And I want to thank you guys for being a part of that. So to Vaughn Harrison, to Lisa the Luminary, to anyone tuned in now, anyone tuning in later, to those showing up for themselves and also showing up for others to motivate and inspire one another, thank you guys all for being part of that social support system. You are all part of my gratitude section today. So go ahead and think about something you're grateful for, and that will help put you in that positive mindset as we shift into today's lesson. Second mental health tool we're going to talk about is that list tool, that progress tracking tool. And why is this tool so important? For a million reasons. But one of the big ones is depression likes to put us into a victim mindset. It likes to try and sell us the idea that we are victims in life and life is happening to us. But what we do by keeping track of our progress and keeping track of the number of days that we get up, we fight forwards, we fight against anything that's trying to stop us or slow us down, and we accomplish that goal, we actually keep track of truth. We keep track of the fact that we are achieving our goals. We are developing a champion mindset by giving ourselves a daily dose of progress and success. So it shifts over from victim to victor. It shifts over from victim to champion mindset. When we keep track of that progress, it makes it easy for us to not forget, right? It makes it easy for us to remember how far we've come when we keep track of how far we've come. And I can tell you for a fact, if I didn't keep track of the number of days I trained consecutively, I would have no idea that I'm at 693 days. And I know a lot of people out there who, same thing. If we don't keep track of it, it's so easy to not give ourselves credit for how far we've come. So please do use that progress tracking tool. Keep track of that daily accomplishable goal that you give yourself to build you up mentally and physically. If it's this program, that's great. If it's a martial arts training program, that's awesome too. If it's just heavy bag, alone time with that heavy bag, getting in some somatic therapy, working through those things, that's great also. So please do keep track of that number of days that you show up for yourself and you fight forwards. And it'll build into more self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-validation, which no one and nothing, not even depression, can take away from you because you're the one who gave it to yourself. So that's our gratitude. We covered the gratitude, we covered the list and the progress tracking tool. If you have been staying consistent, and I see you, Lisa, if you have been staying consistent out there and keeping track of your days, please do share those days. Share that experience with others, because that's one of the best ways that we can make a difference out here. Can't force anybody to change, but we can be the change that we want to see. And by sharing our progress, it lets people know they're not alone. This is not an unattainable goal, and it shows them a way that they can do things for themselves as well. Shout out to Mad with Hats. Thank you for being here. Lisa at 393 days. Closer and closer to 400 every day. I'm super proud of you, Lisa. Thank you so much for being here every single day. Even on, you had mentioned before, even when you had taken a break, taken a vacation from social media, you still tuned in just for that time to get in that daily dose of progress and success. And it's inspiring to see You have stayed consistent for almost 400 days. Can't wait till you hit that big 400. And so glad that you're here with us. So thank you so much. Another one putting in that consistency. Mad with Hats, thank you for being here. He says, sorry you missed everyone. Don't worry about that. As we know, our progress never goes down. Our proof of endurance never goes down. Even if we miss a day, this number doesn't reset to 0. It just continues to build and continues to get stronger the same way that we do every day we show up and take a step forward. So don't worry about missing a day here and there. If you can stay consistent with it, it will be more effective. But if you're not, you don't have to feel bad about it. You don't have to feel like you fell off the wagon. Again, you still have the proof of what you're capable of, what you have done, what you can look forward to doing in the future. So please do keep track of that number. All right, we did the number. We did the gratitude. Let's talk about today's lesson. You'll notice I got Bob with me. I've got the hand wrap with me again. We're going to be practicing with that because it's a whole lot of fun. I had a ton of fun with Bob the other night practicing with that hand wrap. And today we're going to talk about evasive punches. So when we talk about punching, when I learned punching, I learned how, let me just get that in frame. I learned how to keep my head on the center line and tuck my chin in, boom, to the shoulder for more defense. Keeping the head tucked, keeping that shoulder pressed, right? Creates a lot of defense there to guard against shots, to block against blows, or get around incoming hooks and things like that. But when I briefly trained with the champ, he was showing me, I was unable to hit him. He was like a magician out there. It's like I didn't even know what was happening. It was like a whole different universe. In the game that we play here, in this fight game that we play here, in this martial art lessons that we learn, I'm still training. I'm still learning. And there is a whole world of knowledge that I don't know compared to what I do know. So I'm always looking for ways to grow. And there's unlimited room for progress in martial arts. And Greg, shout out to Greg, gratitude going out to Greg Wooten, two-time Muay Thai world champ. He's in a whole nother universe. If we're playing checkers, he's playing chess. So when I'm tossing punches at him, his head is always not getting hit. He's always out of the way, and I didn't know what was going on. It was like magic. So I'm going to show you, he broke down a little bit of that and why I couldn't hit him. And I'm going to show that to you today. We're going to talk about evasive punches. So we've got our standard jab, right? We twist through, we send that fist down the center line. We're tucked for defense. We got our guard up. It's nice and tight. But say you threw that jab at the same time that your opponent throws the jab, and you're both throwing exactly the same punch, and you've got the same reach, right? What's going to happen is you're both going to take a punch to the face right here, right? Even if my guard's up tight, I'm sending that fist down the center line, right down the pipe. He's sending his down the pipe too. I'm probably going to get hit in the nose. But if I move my head off the center line and open up the distance between the shoulder, right, and the bottom of my head, boom, just dipping the head off that center line, whoosh, as I twist through, the twist is the same. Just opening this space up gets my head off that center line. So if we both throw the punch at the same time, now I'm out of the way of danger. And that's one of the things that he was doing. He was slipping while he was throwing those punches. He was getting that head off the center line, opening up the space in between the shoulder. Instead of that nice tight defensive way, it was shoulder was open, head was off to the side, and now there's a gap big enough for a fist. That's all we need to. We just need to get our head out of the way of that fist. So it's not a huge, giant, exaggerated motion. It's just opening up this space between the shoulder and the head and just getting it off that center line. And we don't want to rotate and come in wide. It's not throwing hooks. You're still throwing straight punches. We're just dipping the head off the line, boom, while we toss them. So we're going to practice those straight punches. The cool thing about the slip rope, the hand wrap here and Bob, is that we can have a visual representation of any strike we want. We can imagine this is a hook coming in from the side. We can imagine it's a straight coming towards the face. And that can help us when we're practicing those jabs and crosses, right? Here's a tight one. I'm still getting hit in the face. But when I throw an evasive one, boom, there it is. Now my head's out of the way of danger. I've opened up that space in the shoulder, and I'm still making contact. And if we both throw the punch at the same time, I'm going to make contact. He's going to hit nothing but air. So we're going to do the same thing with the jab and the cross. We're going to practice that. We're going to drill those a bit, both the open style and also the tight style. So you can feel those differences there. 1, 2, 3, evasive, evasive, evasive. Boom, getting that head off the center line. And then we're also going to practice some rolls. Rolling under those hooks was a lot of fun. So something I need to work on is waiting to the very last second to drop that fist if I'm going to throw a hook. If you caught the video from the other day, you notice I dropped the fist really early, way back here. And even though I'm guarded and they probably can't see the fist coming, it's still good practice to keep that guard high till the very last second, and then at that final moment, drop that fist down and drive it in. So we're going to practice that today. Normally I train you guys to be prepared for the bag, to be prepared to hit a heavy object and not injure yourself, wrist straight. We're still going to be doing that, but our focus is going to change a little bit on those hooks to a more technical, a little bit on those body shots and hooks to a more technically correct for actual competition or actual fighting. So normally I would tell you guys drop that fist to the side, lock the elbow in 90 degrees, palm up, and then drive through the hip. That's all the same, but we're not going to drop it until the very last moment. So we're basically going to pre-wind, and here where we would drop it before, we're not dropping it yet. On the way forward to deliver that hit, we're going to drop that fist at the last moment and just drive through. Boom. The motion's the same, but that fist is coming out at the last second. Shout out to Lexi. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Appreciate that support as well. We're going to be working from Muay Thai stance today. It is a Saturday, so it's our standard high intensity day. We'll have those retro synth 80s beats coming through the boombox. And standard rounds, 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath and drink some water and check in on you. Make sure that you're pushing to your level. One of those other things that makes this an effective mental resiliency and mental health training program is that we aim for the flow zone. We don't aim to overwork or overdo it or overexert ourselves. We don't aim for maximum output 100% of the time. We want to give ourselves a challenge that matches our skill level and our present state of being. So however you are feeling today, if you got enough sleep, that's great. If you're taking care of your health, taking care of your diet, taking care of all those things, you're going to be able to do a lot more than if you didn't get enough sleep, or you partied hard last night, or there's alcohol in your system. All those things are going to affect you. We also want to take into account our environment. Is it boiling hot? Is it nice and cool? Those things will affect us too. So that being said, you want to check in on yourself, see where you're at for the day, and all you have to do is make sure you're giving yourself a challenge. As long as it's a challenge, you're going to be doing it right. If it's not a challenge, you'll fall into boredom. You won't have any fun. You won't want to keep doing it. And if it's too much of a challenge, you'll need a passive day off, and that's not what we aim for. We aim for active recovery days, because science has shown active recovery days will make a lot more progress than passive recovery days. They're much more effective. Just close my door, and we're going to get into this thing. So, like I said, we'll be working from Muay Thai stance. Stance guide available on SackLifeOfficial.com. Bottom of free martial arts for mental health class section. If you're not familiar with it, most of you guys are. So, we're going to get right into it. Here we go. Setting up that timer. We'll get the tunes going, get this thing started, and go ahead and pop into your Muay Thai stance. Boom. Timer set. Let's get it. Let's get this thing happening. Bam.
Bluetooth.
Go a stranger beat today. Why not? It's a stranger beat kind of mood. And by the way, if you like these beats or you'd like to train to them on your own time, they are available on Spotify for free. Just stream them. Search artist, SackLifeOfficial.com. Artist name after the website to help raise awareness. So if you stream it, we can beat that algorithm and empower others through music as well. Help them bring them free mental health tools. That being said, let's get into it. Pop into Muay Thai stance. Square up with your visualized depression dummy. Let's get that guard high by the brow line. Close the fingers, tuck the thumbs, tuck that chin, and start shifting that body weight forwards and backwards in your stance. We're going to step in for our standard 1-2. Driving those fists down the center line. Turn that fist over, twist through the body. Boom. You'll notice the chin going into the shoulder here. Right down the pipes and those fists straight down. Boom, boom. Nice and straight, nice and tight guard. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. and back to stance. And now we're gonna start with an evasive jab. So we're gonna turn as we twist through. Instead of tucking the shoulder in and the chin in, we're gonna dip the head off the line and open up that shoulder a little bit. Still send the fist straight forwards, but just open up that shoulder space. Let's practice it together. You can still step in, whoos, drive that fist forward, but dip the head off the center line. Open up the space in between that shoulder and the chin. Back to stance, couple of straight punches here. 1, 2, 1, 2 again. 1, 2, 1, 2, and some evasive jab, boom. Dip that head off the center line, no tuck. Remember, get that head off the line, drive that fist forward, and back to guard. Evasive jabs, evasive jabs, evasive jabs. Back to stance, straight jabs, straight jabs, straight jabs. Back to stance, evasive jabs, evasive jabs, evasive jabs, evasive. Keep it evasive. Let's go. Exhale hard on those strikes. Still twist through it. Turn that fist over. The rest is the same. Just keep the head off that center line. The rope here is going to add a level of accuracy here to our training. If you got a hand wrap, go ahead and use it. Let's step in for a 1, 2. Boom. Nice and straight. And now we're going to practice that evasive jab. Boom. I'm going to bring my head off the center line. Boom. Twist through. Bah. Our lead hand's still going right down that pipe, right down the center line. Just boom, make it evasive. Little dip of the head off there. Open up that shoulder distance and toss that punch. Let's do it. One, 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 one. Now we're gonna do a 1, 2. Boom, back. The 1 is evasive, the 2 is a straight punch. And we're back. Let's go. Evasive 1. And then straight 2. Boom. Roll through, tucking that chin into the shoulder. Drive that fist forward. And let's do it. Hey. Back. 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 Keep going. Yeah, drive those fists forward and visualize that target as you make contact with that depression dummy. Let's go. Hey. And that's the end of round 1. Catch your breath, drink some water, check in on you, make sure you're doing all right, make sure you're pushing to your level, and we'll pick up some intensity in round 2. Thank you to Hello, I'm Trying, and Master Checo. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you guys and girls out there for tuning in and supporting the cause. We got 38 seconds. Catch your breath, drink some water, and we're going to get into the evasive cross now. We'll add that in. We'll work the evasive cross and the evasive jab in there together. And so something to note is the rest of those points are the same, right? We're rotating on the ball of the foot. We're twisting through the hips and the shoulders. We're twisting that body. We're using that rotation to build speed and power in the punches. So all of that is the same. The only difference is opening up that space and getting our head out of the way of danger. So for the cross, I'm going to step over on this side of the line. I'm using this to emulate a straight shot towards my head. I'm going to step in for a straight jab. Boom. There's my straight jab. Chin tucked in, right on the center line. And now when I go for the cross, I'm going to open up this space, get my head off the center line, and twist through the body, same way. Just keep this space open. And now my head is slipped, boom, and that cross is making contact. Rotate back to stance, and let's do it. Straight jab, and evasive cross. Boom. Drive that head off the line. Open up that space between the shoulder and the chin. Head off the line, and drive that fist forward. Back to stance. Straight jab, evasive cross. Boom. There it is. Head's off the line. Notice I'm bringing the other hand back to keep that guard tight. Keep that guard up all the time. Step in for the 1, straight 1. Boom. Chin's tucked. Evasive 2. Boom. Chin is untucked. Space is open. And we're making contact and getting out of the way of danger. Let's do it. Let's turn it into a drill. Straight 1. Evasive 2. Boom. Let's go. Straight 1. Bah. Evasive 2. Bang. There it is. Guard high. Keep your eyes on that visualized target. Make contact with his chin or his nose and do some damage. Let's go. Muay Thai stance. 1 straight, 2 evasive, and back. Keep it moving. 1 straight, 2 evasive, and back. Twist through on the ball of that foot. and back. Keep it tight. And back. Slow it down to your level and keep it moving. Keep going. Let's go. Keep that guard high. Tight on the 1. Open up for the 2. Guard comes back to the head and we're nice and defended. Tight on the 1. Open on the 2. Boom. And keep rolling. Let's go. Sink a little bit on that 2. It'll help with the rotation as well. Keep moving. Let's go. Visualize that target and make some damage. Cause some damage to that depression dummy's face. Exhale hard on those strikes. Get that head off the center line for the cross. Nice and tight for the jab. Step into it and keep going. Push to your level. Remember, moderate the pace, moderate the intensity, and moderate the volume. That's all on you. Moderate this class to your level. Make it your own. If you want to throw more, throw more. If you want to throw them faster, throw them faster. If you want to put more weight behind them, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Put that weight in there and let's go. Work for you. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Get it in. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Back to stance. Exhale hard on those strikes. Open up that shoulder space for the evasive cross and keep it going. 1, 2, 3. Back. 1, 2, 3. Back. 1, 2, 3. Back. And that is the end of round 2. Catch your breath. Drink some water. We're going to pick up in round 3. We're going to start talking about the hooks like we were doing the other day. We're going to get into the roll a little bit this time. Rolling under what we'll visualize as a hook. Shout out to Becca for joining. Appreciate you. You're coming in. It's about round 3. If you'd like to catch the show from the beginning, woo, there will be full replay available on Sack Life Daily on YouTube, and you can take those classes at any time at your own discretion whenever you'd like. We're in Muay Thai stance. We got 22 seconds. We'll be popping back into it. We're going to get nice and balanced in our stance. Visualize that target in front of us, and we're visualizing depression as a dummy and as an active threat. So we're going to drill those basics, those fundamentals, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to dip under an incoming hook. So we're going to visualize that depression dummy toss in a hook. We're going to dip under it, boom, roll around it, and as we come up, we're going to come up into a hook of our own. Boom, twisting up, driving through those hips, rotating through the ball of the foot, the hips and the shoulders together, and tossing that fist out at the last moment for a counter hook. So let's get into it. Square up with that visualized target. Muay Thai stance, shoulders rolled, guard high, close the fingers, close the thumbs. Shift that body weight back and forth. Let's hit them with a 1, 2, 3. Right down the pipe, right down the center line. 1, 2, 3. Evasive 1, pa. Evasive 2, pa. And straight 3. Boom. There it is. Let's practice together. Evasive 1, evasive 2, and straight 3. Boom. There it is. Back to stance. Now we're going to visualize that hook coming in, and we're going to dip under it, rolling around, making sure we're nice and balanced. That's where this balance stance comes into play. You want to still stay in the center of your gravity. Keep that head nice and centered, nice and balanced. We're not dipping over our leg. We're not dipping over that center. We're rolling right within it, right? Roll right within it. So here we go. We're visualizing that hook coming in. Guards nice and tight. We're nice and high. We're going to roll under. As we roll under, we're preloading that back shoulder for a nice counterattack. We're going to roll through, boom, on the ball of the front foot, push, and drive that fist across for a counter hook of our own. Rotate back to square up with that depression dummy. Hit him with a 1, 2, 3. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Exhale hard on those strikes. Keep them right down the center line. Back to stance. Let's make them evasive. Evasive 1. Open up the shoulder to chin. Space. Evasive 2. Open up again. Evasive 3. Bah. Keep it evasive this time. Lots of head movement. 1, 2, 3. And back. 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 Move that head around. And now let's dodge that hook again. Counter with a hook of our own. Hook's coming in from the side. We're going to dip under it. Roll around it. And from here, we're preloaded. We're going to rotate up. Boom. Into that counter hook. Right through the face of that depression dummy. Rotate back to stance. Square up and hit him with the 1, 2, 3. You can send them down that center line, or mix them up. Make some evasive. Make some straight punches. Keep that head moving. Keep that center nice and balanced. And roll through it. Hit that dummy in the face. Let's go. Knock those lies right out of them. Every day we fight for ourselves. We get stronger as depression gets weaker. Now we're going to roll under some of those punches. Roll under the hook. Counter with a hook of your own. Back to stance one more time. Under the hook. And there it is. And back to stance. And that is the end of round 3. That was only 9 minutes of exercise. But if you keep track of it and you make it a daily consistent goal, it will add up into so much more. It will add up into self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-validation. It will add up into proof of the number of days that you overcame the debilitating effects of depression, because no matter what your body or mind told you today, this number is proof that you did get up, you did fight forward, and you did make progress. So please do continue to show up for you. Continue to show up at a level that challenges you to your skill level. That way you can continue to make that progress and will never need a day off. Right? Tomorrow's going to be an active recovery day, so if you're new to the class, I'd highly recommend either a Wednesday or a Sunday. They're a much lower intensity pace. It's a good primer before we get into the higher intensity days. And if not, it doesn't matter. Keep going. Just show up for you. Find the things that work for you as an individual. Put them together in that super effective routine and give yourself a fighting chance out here. Because it is a battle. And every day we fight forwards, we show ourselves that we are strong enough to win it. So until next time, Becca says thank you. You're welcome, Becca. Thank you for being here. And I'll catch all you guys and girls same sack time, same sack channel, same sack life. Sackman out.